Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Heidi from My Reading Life, and I'm here today to film my TBR talk and book haul for the month of May. So I did fairly well in the month of May. I read 12 books total. I didn't get entirely all the way through my Springathon TBR, but that's okay. I think I only had one book left from that TBR. So, 12 books in 1 month, especially as busy as the month of May was, I think that's very good. And what's even better is how many books I read off my TBR shelves. So I read, let's just show you my little accounting. I read 11 books off my shelves. I brought in 7 books. I did not unhaul any. And so that's a -4 for my monthly total. So that brings me down to 135 on my TBR shelves, which is excellent. If you remember correctly, I started at 146. So we're now at 135. That's down 11 books since the beginning of January. So I feel like, making progress. The bad news is I only read, I completed 1 book of the Ancient TBR and then started another one, which I have since finished. So I had meant to be doing 6 books a month off the Ancient TBR, but that slowed down last month because of all the reading I was doing for the Springathon, which I do not regret in any way, shape, or form. But I do want to get back into trying to clear off some of these older books. So I am going to renew my focus and my attention this month. I hope to be getting some more of these off the Ancient TBR. So that's where we're at with the TBR. I feel like we're making forward progress. We're not sliding back. We're moving ahead. So that's all good. So what books did I bring in? There were 7 total that I brought in for the month. And they're all excellent, excellent finds. So the first book I picked up was a book I got at Goodwill. I went on a trip to Pennsylvania at the beginning of the month of May. And on our drive down there, we spent the night, and the place that we were staying had a Goodwill right nearby, and I found this nonfiction book, No Ordinary Time, Franklin and Eleanor Roosevelt, The Home Front in World War II by Doris, Kearns, Goodwin. I read that other book by Doris Kearns Goodwin last year. And I am really, really interested in Eleanor Roosevelt in particular. And I really had been wanting to get my hands on this one. So when I found it at the Goodwill for a couple of bucks, I was like, well, that's a no-brainer. I wish I could remember what the other book. It was The Bully Pulpit. The Bully Pulpit was the other one that I read by her. So I am looking forward to diving into this at some point and learning more about Eleanor Roosevelt particularly, but also FDR, who I have not read anything about yet. So then I went to some kind of like an outlet bookstore in an outlet mall in Pennsylvania. So one book I found there was this one, Conquistadora by Esmeralda Santiago. You will remember that I read Esmeralda Santiago's 3-book memoir series, which starts when I was Puerto Rican. Is that the name of it? My God, I cannot remember anything today. Yes, When I Was Puerto Rican, which I loved. I loved the whole memoir trilogy. So I was thrilled to find this novel by her in that outlet store. And I am buddy reading this book this month for Curvathon with Alba from Seriella and Doris from Alder Books. And I just started it today at lunchtime. And it is good so far. It's historical fiction. I then picked up The Eye in the Door by Pat Barker. This is the second book in her World War I trilogy. I read Regeneration with Sean the Book Maniac some time ago, and at some point I want to pick up the other 2 books in the trilogy, and this is the second book. So when I found that, I was like, yes, please. I definitely want that one. I found this science fiction book, Only Human by Syvain Neuvel. This is book 3. I don't know what this series is called, but the first book is called Sleeping Giants, and I have the other 2 books in this series on my shelves already. I just had never picked up the 3rd book. This series is all about what happens when some folks find a buried robot, pieces of a buried robot in the first book, and so then the trilogy takes on from there because the buried robot turns out to be an alien. These books are really cool designs because the naked hardcover always has a really cool print on it. And I also very much like them because they are written in the style where they're like diary entries and they're interviews and case studies and that sort of thing, like very multimedia type narrative. And in science fiction, I really love that format. I really have a good time with it. The Illumini series was like that, and I really enjoyed that. So I'm very glad to have found the third book in this trilogy also in a hardcover. So now I have all 3 books in the series in the hardcover, which is fabulous. And then last but not least, from the outlet store, I found Augustown by Kei Miller, and I am planning to read this one for Caribathon as well in June. This is a book that takes place in the early 1980s. I'm not really sure what it's about, but Karen over at Run Right Reads read this last year and really enjoyed it, so I've been wanting to pick it up. There's our author, Kei Miller, and I've been wanting to read more Caribbean fiction in general, so I'm going to be picking this one up hopefully in June for Caribathon. Okay, and then I visited my library, my local library's like little book shed place where you can buy books, used books for sale, and found a copy of She Said by Jodi, Kantor, and Twohey. This book was on last year's BookTube prize list, and this is all about the Me Too movement. These 2 ladies did some of the original reporting on the Me Too movement, and this book had made it into the BookTube prize last year, and it never appeared in any of my judging groups, and so I never read it, and so I found it for, I found this book for $2, a beautiful hardcover that doesn't even look like it's ever been read, so yay me, and I do love my nonfiction, and certainly my nonfiction about current political and social issues I'm really into, so that was a find that I was very excited for. And then last but not least, the last book that I brought into my home in the month of May was Diary of a Young Naturalist by Dara McAnulty. Now, this book is the Book Naturalist book club pick for the month of June, so I will also be reading this in the month of June. And this is written by a young person. This is our author here, a young person from Ireland who is very much involved in the climate change movement, I believe, and is also is a person who lives with autism. So I am very interested to pick this one up, and I love the end papers. Look at this. Gorgeous end papers in this hardcover. I mean, just lovely. So very excited about that. I think there's also some little photographs in there of our author, and like, you know, nothing like a book written by a teenager to make you feel like you have accomplished nothing in your life, right? I mean, yeah. So looking forward to that one for Book Naturalist Book Club in the month of June. So that's it. That's how we stand on the old TBR shelves and how we stand on what books came into my home in the month of May. I feel like I did really good because I was worried about May because May is Mother's Day and I tend to go a little out of control, especially when that's in combination with a trip somewhere. But I feel like I've been very restrained in my book purchasing over the last couple of months and really doing a good job at focusing on the books that I already own to read. So let's hope I can continue that progress in the month of June. I hope you're all doing well and finding some great books to read, and I will talk to you later.